Hi guys, this is Vaibhav and we will be discussing today's important news in the world of drones. We'll start with this good article which has appeared in Frontline which talks about the asymmetric warfare that's happening across the world and the advantages that countries can get if they rely on cheaper large number of drones compared to expensive weapons. So just to give you some numbers, this article states that in 2025-2026, the Iran launched roughly 4,400 one-way attack drones, which 90% of them were taken by the American missiles. Now, looks 90% looks like a efficient number, but when you see the cost, that's when a different picture comes into mind. The cost of these Iranian drones that were shot down was a between $20,000 to $50,000, whereas on the American missiles which were shooting them down, their cost was $4 million. The cost ratio is 100 to 1 in favor of Iran, or sometimes 230 is to 1. If I talk about in Indian rupees, so a cost of a Iranian drone is somewhere between 20 lakhs to 50 lakhs, whereas the cost of the missile that is shooting down is somewhere around 32 to 40 crore rupees. So the difference is huge, almost 100 times. So by April 2026, roughly half the US Patriot stockpile in the region was gone. CENTCOM had sent over 3 billion in 6 months. Although 90% interception sounds like a victory, the price tags makes it look a strategic problem. The cheap drone swarm is the infantry mass of 21st century. March 2026 strike at the Prince Sultan Airbase destroyed E3 Sentry AWACS, a surveillance aircraft that was worth $270 million. So it was a very expensive equipment destroyed by a very much cheaper drone. So uh, even the world's defense densest air defense network combining Patriot, THAAD, Iron Dome, and directed energy system has limits when an adversary can fire a lot of cheap weapons in high enough volume. So you can have a best defense network combining the Patriot missile, THAAD, Iron Dome, directed energy system, but it's just when you have a swarm of cheap drones walking towards you, some will pass through those barriers that are created. Uh, it's in regard to clear signal came when you know when the US started taking learning from the Shahid, Iran's basic one-way attack drone itself, and started building its own identical copy. US called it Lucas, low cost uncrewed combat attack system. Lucas, low cost uncrewed combat attack system, and its cost is $35,000 per unit. So cost to cost, it can match the Shahid drone of Iran. Uh, Pentagon went out to request roughly 75 billion for drone and counter drone development in the next budget. This is largest single year increase in either category in American military history. This increase for this particular drone and counter drone development, $75 billion, which is a massive increase from last time. What are lessons for India or anybody, any other country? During Operation Sindoor in May 2025, Pakistan launched between 300 to 400 drones across 36 Indian locations, and India shot down most of them. That is operationally impressive. However, uh, we have to prepare for, any country has to prepare for a possibility of a swarm of drones coming in towards them. Uh, India has the IDEX ecosystem producing combat tested drone systems. Nagastra 1, Sky Striker, JM1 all flew in Operation Sindhu. If India's drone program limits itself to dozens of units specific to high value missions, it would have learned the wrong lesson from this war. It needs several hundreds at a unit cost to make attrition possible, because this is just a war of attrition. We are just making the war costly for the other party. Directed energy technologies, electronic jamming, and interceptor drones are less expensive than conventional interceptor missiles. So, not only in drone but in counter drone operations, also you need to develop cheaper technologies, something which can which can help you in this attrition war. So that's the key takeaway of this article, which I really liked. So I just want to share it with you. Uh, The next article is about drone delivery in India. This article has appeared in NDTV, and this is a good article. It discusses about. So the thing is that drone delivery has taken up pretty well in USA. I read every day about Walmart getting deliveries, Amazon getting deliveries. There are companies which are like Zipline or Wing, which are participating along with in partnership with these companies and delivering drones across USA in the backyards of people. But this article tries to raise a question whether India is ready for drone delivery or not. Supportive regulations, improving drone technology, and rapid rise of quick commerce have together created a momentum for delivery model that could reshape last mile logistics. In India, the quick commerce has changed customers' expectations. It has changed how you know traditional e-commerce thing was being done. Whether it's become mainstream now depends less on the drone themselves, but more on the regulations. The tech is ready, guys. The drones are ready. The delivery drones, the GPS system, point A to point B delivery, everything is sorted. There are many startups which are doing this. Since the introduction of drone rules in 2021, government backed initiatives, including digital sky platform, production linked incentives, controlled beyond visual line of sight trials, help, help move drone logistics beyond laboratory testing. Recent industry estimates suggest India's logistic market could nearly double by 2033, with drone deliveries expected to become an important part of specialized last mile operations. You know, and regulators have approved selected BVLOS beyond visual line of sight corridors, while commercial operators are running autonomous deliveries at meaningful scale instead of isolated demonstrations. So a time has come. India's quick commerce boom has fundamentally altered customers' expectation. Like I said, India's quick commerce market has already crossed US 10 billion GMV. So that's a big number, guys. That's somewhere around 1 lakh crore rupees, and serves over 30 million monthly users. That is somewhere around 3 crore users are being served by India's e-commerce. Industry reports indicate drones are particularly effective for lightweight, high value, and time sensitive shipments. Lightweight, high value, time sensitive, such as pharmaceutical, healthcare supplies, and urgent spare parts. Tier 2 and small cities already account for nearly 60% of India's online orders, and suggesting future e commerce growth will increasingly depend upon improved logistics outside major metropolitan areas. I think there's a lot of regulatory or other topographic uh, restriction in cities. You have skyscrapers, you have buildings, you have apartments, you have airports. But if you move to tier 2 cities, a lot of topographical challenges get solved, and maybe uh, the drone delivery thing may first happen to tier 2 and then come to the main cities. That is just my guess. um, yep. So in USA, Zipline has become one of the world's most successful drone logistics operators by delivering blood, medicines, vaccines across Rwanda, Ghana, and part of the United States. Instead, they are expected to become another layer in. So, yet drones are unlikely to replace the familiar delivery system anytime soon. Instead, they are expected to become another layer in India's logistic network, handling delivering where speed, distance, or geography give them a clear advantage, while trucks, vans, and motorcycle continue doing the rest. So, that's the take from away from this article. Now, moving on to news from USA. Walmart has declared that Houston will be is one of its biggest markets in drone delivery. Wing and Walmart. Wing is a company, and Walmart launch expanded Houston drone delivery. Wing's local network from 5 to it has a 5 to 13 operating nest. They call nest is where the drones land and they charge. Walmart's announcement come in January that Houston would become one of the company's largest drone delivery networks. With Houston rollout now operational, more than 1 million area residents can order a broader selection of Walmart everyday essentials for delivery by drone in just minutes. Wings previously announced goal for of bringing drone delivery to 40 million Americans across 270 locations by 2027. So that's a big number they have, and yep, it's happening in Houston, guys. This backyard, this drone using a tether, the delivery comes down, and The wing delivery drone carries a package weighing up to 2.5 pounds as it leaves the parking lot, of people. Uh, Next is about Ukraine-Russia war, guys. Ukraine has attacked refineries in the 2026 beginning itself. Somewhere around 194 times the Russian oil and gas facilities have been struck, which is a 11-fold increase compared to the last period of year. But any significant bottleneck in the oil and natural gas supply is yet to be seen. On Monday, a long-range drone hit Russia's largest refinery in Siberian city of Omsk, prompting Ukrainian President uh, Zelensky to declare that Siberia was now within reach of Ukrainian precision. Finally, I have a news from Castle Rock. Castle Rock is a place in Colorado, and the local body there they have paused the drone delivery. A lot of residents have raised concerns about the disturbance, about the privacy of their backyards, where some residents actually want that to happen, the drone delivery, but uh, you know, some have expressed uh, their reservations about it, and so yep, that's where I believe that drone delivery will happen in only when the local government of that place gives them the consent. In the end of May, by the way, Walmart celebrated 1 million drone delivery across 4 states, with average drop off taking 23 minutes, according to the company. Yeah. And finally, I would like to. There is an interview of Zipline co-founder Ren, Keller Renaudo Clifton. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So I mean, it's on finance.bigger.com, and it talks. I mean, Zipline is definitely the OG of drone delivery. They used to deliver essential medical drugs in Rwanda. I mean, we have been watching Zipline videos. I don't know since how long, like 10 years back. So Zipline, and he is, you know, now in this article is pretty evident that the drone delivery is pretty mainstream. He has revealed that the delivery cost for him was $300 in 2016, which has fallen to roughly $12 a day, which is a sharp reduction, somewhere 1/30th in 10 years, and this will continue to reduce. The company has flown 140 million commercial autonomous miles with zero safety incidents, now operates roughly 5,000 flights, and they want to end 2026 by 30,000 daily flights. The conversation reveals how Zipline's obsessive vertical integration, designing 700 unique components from scratch, and a triple redundant flight computer architecture built on smartphone supply chain economics have enabled a hardware startup to survive a decade of skepticism, and now they are undercutting the entrenched human logistics. The ultimate key takeaway is autonomous logistics has crossed the unit economics threshold, at least in USA, that separates lab experiment from commercial viability. So drone delivery is becoming a talk, guys. It is not no longer just an experiment, no longer just a proof of concept. And Clifton goes on to say that drone was always just 15% part of the complexity, and in today it's even less. Drone is just a commodity these days. The 85% complexity came from inventory management, software integration with national civil aviation authorities, healthcare system, ordering, demand management, maintenance infrastructure, and keeping these aircrafts up 24 hours. That is the remaining complexity, guys. So Zipline claims to design 700 unique components for the three major sub-assemblies from scratch, including the electric motor. Off-the-shelf units couldn't deliver the thrust-to-weight ratio that the aircraft required, so they developed their own motors. All the engineers there, they work together, and yeah, I think this is a good article, and they themselves follow triple redundant philosophy of Boeing 77, built on a smartphone supply chain fundamentals. This uh, architecture is definitely and they go on to say that US air traffic control system was designed for 1950s with pencils and note cards, and today 50% of the air traffic controllers are over age 45, and it will be a challenge in bringing the air traffic control system for this new age. Zipline proved reliability over time. Ratio expanded 1:3 to 1:6. This ratio is the drone to fleet commander. Now there is one fleet commander and 100 drones flying. That's where the software comes in. Economics have crossed. Safety record holds zero. The only remaining question is whether the rest of the system can move fast enough to stay out of the way. Alright, guys, that's it for today's news. Let's stay connected and to discuss everything about drones.